Well, good morning to you. 7:16 at iFiber One News Radio. I'm Jeff Slakey, and I'm happy to have in studio with me today to talk about Community Lifeline, Barb Weza and Bert Pedersen. Good morning, gang. How you doing?
Good morning.
Thanks for coming on the air today with me.
Thank you.
Talking about Community Lifeline, and it's a big month for Community Lifeline as we move closer to November for the cold weather shelter, which we're going to talk about further later this month as the weather does seem to be changing. Community Lifeline, 218 North 3rd Street in beautiful downtown Shelton, and you've been there for a very long time, and you've built up a long and great list of neighbors and community support, and we're just going to kind of talk about some of those aspects and Community Lifeline in general. Is that kind of where we're at today?
That is correct.
All right, so let's start off with Community Lifeline, what it does for the community, and who specifically it helps.
Community Lifeline is a nonprofit 501c3 nonprofit agency. We provide social services. We provide meals, hot showers and hygiene items, case management, and from November through April we provide an emergency cold weather shelter when the wind chill is 35 degrees and below. Those that we serve are those in poverty here in our neighborhood and in our community. We serve the unemployed, the underemployed, which we are seeing many more these days, and people who are chronically homeless.
Okay.
And we want to really emphasize that we are serving more than the homeless. The homeless are a very small percentage of the people that we really do serve. But there are a great number of people in poverty in this county.
Yes.
And so therefore, when you look at our meals and so forth, we always increase the number of people showing up toward the end of the month. The last couple of weeks of the month, people have run out of their stipends and things like this, and they just cannot afford to have their meals. And a lot of people, even though they have a roof over their head and are living, they again cannot afford the regular staples and so forth. A lot of us take for granted.
Yeah.
And so therefore they are showing up with the families, and you can see that in the last couple weeks of the month.
Sounds similar too to the kind of the backpack program that kids are doing. They give the food bank here gives them hopefully the intended use is for them for food over the weekend, and often it turns into the whole family's meals.
It often feeds the whole family over the weekend. Who serves our meals and who prepares our meals? We have over 250 community volunteers from many, many churches and community organizations. Our building is a site for the community to serve the community.
Mm-hmm. So let's talk about towards the end of the month, larger numbers of people are starting to kind of show up and get the foods and services that are available. A lot of times when perhaps folks are unaware of people's situations, they're kind of not sure what's going on, and they can perhaps be a little leery, a little perhaps afraid of what they're seeing. How is the neighborhood response to this? I know there's been maybe some burglaries going on, but perhaps not even associated with this. Talk to me a little bit about the neighborhood when Community Lifeline.
Community Lifeline has always had the policy and the philosophy that we want to be good neighbors in our neighborhood and in our community, and that we want to do whatever we can to make it a safer place for everyone. We have had some activity happening in the neighborhood this summer, and we always see this activity through the summer. People migrate in on the wonderful transit system that we have. Mm-hmm. We have, of course, we have substance abuse, which is at a high rate here in Mason County. And we have alcoholism, which is also at a high rate here in Mason County. And we have a park next to Community Lifeline, which a lot of people were gathering in. We, in no way do we tolerate that undercurrent of activity such as burglary or theft or anything else that would affect any other neighbor in our neighborhood.
Right.
And recently there were some thefts in the neighborhood. Our next door neighbor, whom we have worked very closely with for years, and is a great supporter of what we do most of the time. Mm-hmm. came to us out of frustration and felt there was a need for a community meeting. I heard that, and he and I sat down and had a discussion, and out of that came a meeting. We, by invitation only, we invited people from the city, from the county. We're well represented. Chief Moody, the police chief, the new city manager, and many neighbors. Green Diamond Resources, which is right across the street from us, and of course Community Lifeline representatives. We wanted everyone to be heard about their frustrations and how we could just work together to be better neighbors. We wanted that dialogue, and we want it to continue. Out of that, we have come up with many partnerships, new partnerships, and many mitigations that we are working towards. Working with Chief Moody and officers in the Shelton Police Department, they are coming out to assess our landscaping and around the neighborhood to see how we can provide additional lighting or security cameras or tailor our landscaping to make it a safer environment. And we are, Mr. Whitaker, our next door neighbor, has graciously offered to pay for those security cameras.
Oh, wow.
So we want to keep the dialogue going, and we want to continue to be able to provide a safe place for people to come and receive services, but also a safe place for the neighborhood as well.
What did Chief Moody say about the area and perhaps the incidents that had been happening? Were there direct correlations to the folks using the Community Lifeline facilities, or was it just this? There were a lot of people here, and perhaps this is what happened because of it?
Well, interesting you should ask that, because there are many factors that play into the dynamics that were happening around this. The first one was the transit system and people's ability to utilize that. Coming into Shelton, we are just a block down from the transit center, and we were getting many people in from out of county. The second, of course, is the drug and alcohol and substance abuse, and people were using the park next to us as a site to do that activity. Also, the idea that we serve free meals, and we advertise when we serve those free meals.
Sure.
But not only that, we are always feeding people in our building. Faith Lutheran Church here in town provides us with 200 plus prepared sandwiches every week. So we are always feeding people in our building. If someone comes to the door and they are hungry, we will feed them. So they know that it's a site where they can get a meal or something to eat, a hot shower, someone to talk to. If they need case management services or resources, community resources, we do a great deal of that in our building as well. We also provide in our building space to 2 other nonprofit agencies that align with our mission statement to provide resources for people to launch them towards self-sufficiency. And we currently house the Hope Garden Project, which addresses generational poverty and teaches students in the Shelton School District cooking and nutrition, health and well-being, and leadership skills, and we give them our building once a week to do that. The other agency is the Asset Building Coalition of Mason County, and they teach financial literacy skills.
Yeah.
Everything from applying to college and financial aid to budgeting, getting banked at a bank, second chance loans, and connecting with those financial resources that people might need.
Is there self-policing going on with the people who use the services at Community Lifeline? If they see, because obviously, if this becomes an huge problem, you say, well, I'm done with this. You guys wouldn't. I know you wouldn't. But there are people that would say, I'm not going to deal with all the extra hassle there is. So are people that use the services taking their steps to say, hey, come on, let's not do this. This person over here may not shouldn't be here, things like that. Are you seeing that, Bert?
Yes, we do, and we see that very often. In fact, they will come and say, I think that these couple individuals should not really be here for the meal. They should they should leave.
Okay.
And so therefore we do ask people to leave. And if people can't follow our rules and regulations and so forth, we don't allow them in.
Okay.
And that's how we basically approach that. One of the things that I just want to add on to, say, asset building, is they do a lot of mentoring, one-on-one mentoring with people, and of course they're always looking for, quote, volunteers to help on the mentoring, because it's a big job. I think that in our community, and again, the community is Mason County. We are the one source for the meals every night. We are the one shelter in the winter, and we provide, of course, the showers. We do not allow people to just come in and hang out all day long.
Okay.
And that might be one of the things that people say, well, they push these people out on the street. Well, we want them to go and find other services. We direct them to the DSHS. We direct them to wherever they need services, whether it be the hospital, etc. So we need to get them out and about. And when people see that, hey, people are shuffling around the sidewalks, they get the idea that, hey, we're just not taking care of them.
Right.
Well, we are. We're trying to get them out and work their way up and away from their problems.
If you would like to find more information about Community Lifeline, you can call 426-8472. Again, they're at 218 North 3rd Street in downtown Shelton. Barb is going to come in later in this month to let us know about the cold weather shelter as it opens up in November as the weather starts to turn a little bit. Yes. But an important issue for the community. And when these community gatherings get together, it's important to get out there, talk about it, maybe dispel some misinformation, some rumors and innuendo perhaps that have been going on around the community. A Community Lifeline, a great organization that helps out many, many folks here in Mason County. Barb, Bert, thanks for coming in today.
Thank you very much.
We have a new phone number, and I would like to,
let's
give that to folks.
Was that the wrong number then?
If you would like more information, please call 462-4439 or 490-3430.
All right, we got that. We'll check that, and we'll make a call to Google and get that updated. Thank you, Barb. Thanks, Bert. It is 7:29 now at iFiber One News Radio.